mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guy. With flipping ain't easy by your side.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flippin' Ain't Easy, and we're here making messes in scramble mode like normal. But something I wanted to show you guys here in a little bit. Something I've never seen before on eBay. Something I've never had to deal with this situation, and it's quite strange. If you're a member of the Discord, you know what I'm talking about. I did post the information there because I really thought I was getting scammed, and it now it hasn't been resolved yet, but I don't think that's what's happening here. So that said, and I'm gonna get your opinion on how to deal with it and all that. That said, I want to apologize to you guys for being a little late to the game here on the show, a couple minutes late, and probably I should have been a couple minutes later, but I didn't want to keep you waiting because of the situation. I am just scrambling around to try to get from one mode that's running the business to the other mode, which is doing the live. So I apologize. Getting the live up here on my screen. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do, and I should have done it, like I said, before we got started. So I apologize for that. Okay, so that's the one thing, and we'll talk about that in more detail as to what the hell John's talking about here in a minute. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about is, you know, and I'm going to do a poll. I want to do a poll before I even get started on this. Jenna, why don't you tell everyone how your day's going so I can practice to put this poll out?
My day is fine. Just busy. I got most of the shipping done last night. We didn't have a lot to ship this weekend. Sales were... that's about it.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to do a poll because I think it's important to what I'm trying to say here, so I apologize. Did I do that right? Start Q&A. This is all screwed up. See, I told you I should have been a few minutes late doing this. Start Q&A. It's not doing it.
Yeah,
Q&A. Nope, because it's not what I wanted to say. So anyway, here's the deal. Promoted listings. This is a big topic. This is a big, here's a poll right here. This is a big topic of contention for a lot of people. There's many who will refuse to promote, and there's people who just do it, right? Like me, I will promote. Hold on, here's the poll. Oops, I think I goofed there. Sorry, guys. This is bad for bad. They call it bad TV.
Well, that would just, they should name our channel that.
Okay, there's your poll. I put it up. If you're there with us in the chat, or if you're watching after the fact, I don't think you can see it when you're watching after the fact. So here's the thing: you have an option to sell your item, to give a 10% discount to the buyer to make that sale, to seal the deal, or promote your item at 5%. I'm just curious, which one would you rather do? For me, and look, I hate to say there's a right or wrong answer, but I think if we're looking at surely moving or selling our items, if we're running our store like a business, there has to be a right or wrong answer here. If we don't care, if it's just like, look, I'm operating on principle. I really don't like eBay, and I'd rather have my buyers, get a deal. Then I think you're operating your business on emotion. If I'm, and this is going to get me a lot of flack in the comments. I get it, and this channel is good with either way. You want to run your business with emotion, then go ahead. But here's the thing: you kind of can't have it both ways. If you're not happy with your success, you got to change something within your business. And I think if you're operating your business with emotion instead of sheer data and doing the things that you need to do to make your item sell, that's going to hurt you. It's going to prevent you from doing the things that you need to do. Now, look, I don't like to promote. The idea of me giving away an extra 8 to 10% of my profit away to eBay because, 4 years ago, was it 4 years now? 4 years? Almost 4 years? Maybe more? eBay decided to do promoted listings. They decided to gouge us for more of our profits. It wasn't good enough for eBay to collect 13.25%. They had to have more. And it was to the point where they're like, okay, we'll let you do 1 more percent, 1 more measly percent, and we'll promote your item. And that wasn't good enough. And about 6 months to a year later, they upped it to a minimum of 2%. And it is still up to you on how you want to promote. And that is off-putting. It's off. It's like, this is BS. So, the side of you where your principal kicks in, and it's like, I ain't doing this. This is a money grab, and it's not right. Why wasn't 13.25% good enough, and now it's not? And now we kind of all know the answer to that question. And eBay has changed their game. They've changed the algorithm constantly in the background. Of course, they're not transparent about it. It's still, you can promote at 2%, or you can promote at 100%. We'll take it all, says eBay. They won't. If you right now want to, you could put 100% promoted, and guess what? You'll have to pay. You'll get nothing, and you'll have to pay your final value fees and your shipping on top of that. Now, nobody in the right mind would do that, but the fact that that's an option is a bit ridiculous. So let's all agree, and I think most of us would agree, that it's BS. The whole thing is BS. There is no extra value coming to us as sellers versus what we were getting in value 4 years ago. I think we can all agree on that. But here's the thing. This is one of those things that we can't control. We all know who we're dealing with. If you are selling on the platform, you are selling on eBay for a reason. And that reason is the only reason I'm selling, and that is the fact that there's still very good traffic. Next to Amazon, because Amazon blows it all away, eBay is the biggest reselling platform out there next to Amazon, and it's not even close. Sheer volume of buyers. And eBay knows this. They have us by the proverbial,
cojones?
Yes. And we have to take it. Now, there's some that say, I don't have to take it. And they're probably typing away right now in the comments. But these same people are still selling on the platform. These same people are not promoting from principle. And these same people are upset that they're not making sales. Okay? And you are still taking it. Now, you are not taking it in the way of promoted listings. You are still 13.25%, but you are taking it in the end because you're not getting the number of sales that you used to get before promoted listings kicked in. So you're allowing the emotions of reselling to hold you back from more progress. And so I am not here to say throw a blanket at your items either. Promoted. I was watching Primo Chemo's channel today. If you're not watching his lives on a Monday and Wednesday, what's going on? It's very entertaining, and they do actually talk all over the place about reselling, but it is very entertaining. And there's some topics that do come up during that show, and this is kind of one of them. I think that it's a mistake to blanket. Like I do most of my listings, right? Because I buy so low. I pay so little for a lot of these items. I can buy a $2 item, sell it for $100, and probably sell it within 3 or 4 days. And I sell it at pretty high velocity. I'm not sitting on a lot of these items because of the promotion. The idea that people aren't promoting at all, and they have a everything store, just kind of makes me scratch my head. Now, if you're happy with your sales, don't do a damn thing I'm saying to you. Don't do anything different. Do what you're doing. Keep cruising along that path. But if you are unhappy with your sales, you got to do more than, because see, flipping ain't easy for a reason. If you come in and you buy your item, you photo it, you list it, you ship it when it finally sells. That's easy. But if you're truly trying to do more than just the basics and getting more out of your business, you have to be willing to do more. And that means getting in there and finding out why your items aren't selling, finding out who your competition is, find out what they're doing because they're selling their items or you're not. Look at your listing quality report to find out where you should probably be promoting, because I think if you were to poll everyone, and I haven't looked at this other poll yet, if you were to poll everyone, would you like to be in the top 10% of the category that you're selling in? I think everyone would say yes. But why wouldn't you spend the extra 2 to 3% as a starting point to get your business there versus living off of principle and just, not liking your sales results, but you're just going to keep going down the same path expecting a different result? So yes, I'm going to get a lot of people pissed off at me. I'm not an eBay shill. I'm here to help maybe if I can help one person out there, at least see where I'm coming from. And you're not talking to some guy that has, and I'm just going to put it out there like this. You're not talking to a guy who has one sale for every 400 items in their store, where I have to list infinite number of items to make a full-time selling work. You're talking to someone who sells literally 4 out of every 5 items in a 90-day period. That's my sell-through rate on my store. And I'm trying to pass that knowledge and what I do. And it doesn't always work to everyone. Look, that's the thing. If I can just help one person, because what I'm telling you right now may not work for you in the category you're selling in, but I at least want you to consider it. And so going to this poll, we have right now, the question is, would you rather reduce your price by 10% to your buyer? Of course, you reduce the price by 10%, you're taking 10% less. Or promote your item at 5% to make the sale. Now, you're not altering your price at that point. You're just promoting it, and eBay is doing the promotion. And would you know that it's almost a 50-50 split? So half of you guys, and look, some of you guys don't have to promote. Like I said, you shouldn't promote because you're selling a one-off or your competition. And see, we talk about supply and demand. Supply and demand really doesn't have a whole lot to do with whether or not you should be using promoted listings. It's always been this one thing, and it will always be this thing, and that is competition. If you're selling an iPhone, you might think, I don't need to promote this thing because it's going to sell. Eventually it will. But I have a couple of points to make with that. You might have to lower your price to get it to sell because you're going to be buried below others who are promoting. You also, if you are not promoting, you're going to be waiting a lot longer than if you do promote, because eBay is going to give you higher placement. Now, for someone like me, where I'm interested in churning, right? I have 10 items. I want to sell as many as I can to take that money and reinvest it into 20 items so I can, keep churning a smaller store.
You're getting a little crazy.
I am getting a little crazy. I feel like Primo.
Down.
I feel a little like Primo, but I got to tell you guys, I have gone down the rabbit hole, and I have much experience with promoted listings. I know what works for the general seller. Again, I want to stress the general seller because, again, there's some of you look at me like, dude, I do just fine. I don't need to promote. And this message isn't for you. I think each and every person needs to understand. And there's people that also feel like, hey, my items aren't getting seen. This is another thing. They're promoting, they're doing all the things we talk about on the show, and their items just aren't getting seen. But I know that there's an answer out there. If someone's able to sell an item that you can't seem to sell, there's a reason for it. eBay just doesn't shadow ban you for nothing. If you have a bad account health, it could. If you have something going on, it could. But you could find the answer to that quickly by simply searching for your item in an incognito search. eBay actually said that's a way to do it. So there's answers out there to slow sales. You got they're here. How's that FedEx? So I just want you guys not to give up. And see, this is why I'm so passionate about it. We are actually, and I didn't get a chance to pull the stats up today, but we're actually doing a lot better than we have been the last couple years during Q4. And I strongly believe that it's just knowing and having more. I am a stronger reseller right now than I was a year ago. I am a more informed reseller than I was a year ago. This last year, and I don't know, I can't explain why. I mean, I had the same information available to me, but I feel like I have a better grasp on what I'm doing and how the system works than I have ever had. Is that FedEx? So that's my diatribe. I'm sorry for the long-winded diatribe, but I feel so strongly about this, guys. There's so many people that are giving that 10% discount, taking 10% less, and they could have taken 5% less and sold it faster and made more money as a result. So hopefully that doesn't come off the wrong way. And if it does, I you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. This channel is about me being passionate, and I will defend reselling like I have defended reselling, and I will do whatever I can to help people, because this, and people might say, well, why do you care? And the reason why I care is because I see what this has done to our lives. I don't have to answer to anybody anymore. I don't have to drive anywhere anymore. We can go, like on Wednesday, we're going to go play a round of golf with friends. Now, she's going to ride with me in the cart.
I'm not golfing.
But I certainly, the day before Thanksgiving in the transportation industry, would have had to have begged for that day off if I wanted to take that time off. And I probably would have been told, no, you're out of luck. So it is such a freedom that you cannot put a price tag on. And if I can help one person, and I'd like to think I've met many people who've said that we've helped many people indirectly without even knowing it. If I can help one person with this message, then hey, then it was worth offending the other 30 or 40 people who are offended for some reason. So let's see who we have here today, and we'll get on to the other scenario that I had. I want to kind of, see who's with us before I get on to the next topic. And maybe it won't be a next topic. Maybe we can go into it a little bit more if you guys want me to. But Upstate Picks, and it has this weird thing again where we're seeing their ats instead of their actual channel names.
That's Thomas S.
Oh, Thomas S.
Yeah.
Says, John, you should wear a black V-neck shirt and eat Doritos the entire life. I thought. No.
Let me take a guess. Could that be referring to some other YouTuber?
It was Donkey Bar.
Donkey Bar?
Yeah, Donkey
what
Bar. So, I just refer to it as Donkey Bar.
Is
Donkey
that
Bar.
username?
No, it's just me changing it. But I thought that was very disrespectful to Josh. To sit back all smug with the late night Doritos, and it just comes off really. It's bad optics all the way around. But that's all I'm going to say. Mike Metko says, and that's our good friend in New York, says, hi, John and Jenna and FAA family. Sales continue to be strong. On topic, what I think has been helping me a lot is that I have ChatGPT come up with my titles. My prompt is create an optimized eBay listing title that is SEO rich with keywords front-loaded and limited to 80 characters. My titles are always better than what I would have come up with on my own. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. There is a reason, and I was kind of thinking about this earlier. The worst listing in the world is one that is not optimized and is not promoted. Both. If you're doing both things wrong, you're going to get bad results. There is a reason why some of these programs, these AI listers that optimize the title and give a nice optimized and keyword-rich item description and fill in the item specifics as completely as possible, and they don't even promote a lot of the times, and yet they're making good sales on those listings, it's because that eBay is pushing those listings up because those listings are optimized. And so many people have titles that only use like 3/4 of the characters. So many people have titles that have, not logos, but icons and the word new and all this stuff, when that's not the place for that. And we're looking at titles, we're looking at listing from the seller's point of view, as to what can I do to get my item seen, versus the buyer's point of view as to what can I do to replicate what a buyer is going to type in search. And someone said, well, what about the little lightning bolt icon in the title? Or what about the word new in the title?
No icons. No.
People aren't using icons to search for your items. I got to tell you that. So if you have that lightning bolt or the fire icon, right? It might look cool, like, oh, this is a hot item. But people aren't using the hot item icon. They're not using the hot icon to search for your item. It's ridiculous. And if we start, we got to change the way as sellers we look at our business on eBay. And we have a seller's lens, but we have to put the buyer's lens on. We have to do that to see that some of these titles we're using, if you were to buy that item, you wouldn't use half of the things that you write in these titles. And once you get the buyer's lens on, and maybe it takes AI to help you do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's many times that I'll have AI help with the title. But I think it's valuable to understand what eBay's looking for when it comes to creating a title. And I think Mike is spot on with that. I'm just really fired up today, so I apologize.
Guess, my gosh.
I'm fired up, damn it. It's time. We're in the middle, right in the heart of Q4. And I think it's, we're almost at the end of the year. And I think for me, it's what can we do to improve our business so we can get 2026 on like a hot start, right?
Well, we all know January's...
No, not necessarily. The first, for me, it's the last week.
Is.
Well, the last 2 years have been hot.
You and me are the same. We are we. And therefore, our store has never been on fire in January.
Then you haven't been looking at the metrics. I can run the stats right now and prove you wrong because that's not true. I can remember having this conversation 2 Januaries ago where we actually did do the offsite ads program with eBay running the one store. And for whatever reason, the first 2 weeks of it was a turd. And then the last 2 weeks of December was probably one of the best Decembers I've ever seen in my life.
I said January.
And then that spilled into January. No. Yes, it did, man. So we'll just have the stats. We'll look up the stats, and I will just have to have you tell everyone how I was right on the next one.
I'll never tell anyone that you're right about anything.
Even when I am, right?
Even when you are.
That's just not fair. So there's Thomas S. Let's see. A lot of sidebar before we started.
He switched his name so he made an appropriate picture.
That's pretty bad. Is that AI or is that actually you? Okay. So that's a visual I can't get out of my head now. We've got Duncan. The crickets and cicadas are out in force today. Did you get the 100 crickets I sent you, John? No, they Customs got a hold of it and they sent it back. I'm sorry. KFC for Jenna. Yeah, you should be seeing the return package here pretty soon.
No KFC.
Thomas says, John, I sent you a long eBay related question for your live in email. I was going to ask here, but I didn't think we'd have enough room. Feel free to read it if you want. Sure, I can go and pull up my email on live and make everyone wait. I could do that. So here it is. Question too long for chat. I have a question I was going to put in the chat today, but it's too long, I think, for one box. You can reply in chat later. Many people may be wondering as well. Years ago, I heard someone say on their channel, might have been Beard because he was the first person I started to watch, is there such a thing as selling ratio per amount listed? For instance, if you have 1,000 listings, you should be selling at least 10 things a day. In other words, a sign that your store is doing well. You're averaging 10% in sales per day for the amount you have listed. Is there a theory somewhere saying that?
Nobody has ever...
Okay.
Nobody puts theories down.
Okay, here's the thing. This is kind of... I used to do this. I used to go in... Because I've been looking at other people's stores for years because I'm a nosy dude. I want to see... Oh, this person's selling the same thing I am. I go down a little mini rabbit hole to see how well they do exactly in that area. So what I do is I pull up a store's solds. And I'll pull up how many they have listed right now. Okay? Now... The way you figure this out, it's just figuring out sell-through rate quickly in your head. It isn't the amount of solds divided by the number of listed. It just doesn't work that way. It gives you 200% sell-through rate. No, that doesn't work that way. You have to take the number of items sold in the last 90 days plus the number that's currently listed. Now, you're assuming that has been a stagnant number of items listed over the 90-day period. So if it's been a wild swing of listings, this number is not going to be accurate. But you take those two numbers and add them up. And then you take that number and you divide it by the number of items sold, and that number is always going to be more than the number of items sold. It is impossible to sell more items than you have. And that'll give you a sell-through rate. So going off the rough math in my head, 260 items in my store right now, was like 580 in the main store over the last 90 days. That is like 840 items total, and I still have 260 in my store. That's roughly like a 75% sell-through rate for my store. Now that's higher, way higher than normal. I'm not saying it's the best, but I think it's outstanding. What my calculations were is essentially 1 for every 100 items for an everything seller is kind of the norm, a normal just general store. Now I haven't gone back to sort of recalibrate that number in my mind, but that's like 2 years ago, the last time I really went in and was trying to figure out what the average per day would be. It was like 1 item sold for every 100 in the store. So hopefully that's helpful. I mean, our velocity is just crazy. It's just crazy. So let's see.
Time to sell collectibles.
Now here's the question that I have though, and this is not.
You are really you're on one today.
I am on one.
Yeah.
I am on one because I've really thought about this a lot today.
Okay.
Should I just be quiet and let you talk?
No, but I'll sit here and I guess just watch you go to town.
Well, I'm not even done going to town. I got my situation I want to talk about, which is something I've never seen before. I want to ask you guys about this poll. So again, the question is, would you rather reduce your price by 10% or promote your item by 5% to make the sale? Now, if the theory is, okay, your buyer found the item, you have an offer to watcher, you throw them a 10% discount, right? Great. The other idea is that you're just listing your item, you do 5%, it gets pushed up into search. Because of that, buyer finds it organically, and okay, so your starting point on both items is 100. So you're taking a $100 item and you're reducing it to 90, okay? And that's on the offer to the buyer. So you're taking that $90, smile on your face, you're still paying 13.25% on that. So you're probably getting down in the high 70s before, let's just say shipping's extra. On the $100 offer, that your item is set at $100. Now, instead of 13.25%, you're now essentially at 18.25%. You sell that organically without an offer. So you're basically making now like $81 and change before shipping, instead of the $78 or $77 and change, whatever it is. In the long run, you are making less. To me, it doesn't matter who I give my money to. Now, you might feel better about giving that discount and giving that money to the buyer, because essentially that's what you're doing. You're giving that money to the buyer versus eBay. Once that money leaves my account, I don't care where it goes, okay? The goal is, and if you do that for every item in your store, let's say you sell 1,000 items in a year, you are roughly giving away at least a couple $1,000s in revenue with that mindset. Now, does that mean I don't take offers? I certainly do take offers. I have my process in place where I do all of it. But I'm saying, just in general, what would you rather do? And I'm honestly, I want to know, for those 54% who said they'd rather give the 10% discount to the buyer than promote, I want to know why. And please make it, whether you're watching after the fact or you're watching right now during the live, help me appreciate why you do it. I'm not here to dog you. I'm here to understand. And I want to understand so that if I'm way off base, maybe I can change the way I think about things. But I want to make it make sense from a business perspective. I'd even take the 10% discount that I'm giving will get the buyer to come back to me versus, not giving them a discount, and therefore I'll get more sales as a result. I'd rather hear something like that, because that is a business answer. But the idea that I'm not giving money to eBay because it's just ridiculous, they get enough of my money, that's not a business answer. And you don't have to justify it to me at all. I really just want to have an adult conversation to help understand and try to understand where everyone's coming from. So let's see. Time to Sell Collectibles is with us. Nice to see you. Had a great week. Sold 10 collectibles. Total sales price $783.32.
Nice.
That is outstanding. And Duncan just is having a hard time because
You can do it!
You get your hands off. You're really imposing in my duties. Get over. You need to.
You're really like
move over. Get in your own.
You're
space.
like reporting a problem to eBay and waiting for it to get fixed. It's just taking too long.
You're way in my bubble.
Time to Sell Collectibles says, I sell a little bit of everything. Vinyl LPs are moving well, along with toys and knives. All of my items are personal from my family collections. No sourcing. Okay,
nice.
So it's pure, what I call pure profit. Duncan says, that is the best method, no sourcing, or have people source for you like I do. Yes, that's another way to do it. But I just can't see having someone source for me because unless they're trained well or they really care on the same level as you care.
Yeah, I don't even try to do the sourcing.
No, she's not allowed because see, she's going to go source. She might do a good job for the business, but she's going to do a good job for her. I'm going to find an extra 25% because when it comes to your hair care, your face care.
It is for you because then you're not having to delve out so much money on full price products. Don't get me started.
No, I don't even care about. You don't need the products.
I do need them. Do you see these wrinkles?
Let it roll without the war paint.
No way. No way.
Time to Sell says, was at my wife's mother's today, and she reminded me that she has a vintage horse saddles in her shed. There you go. People will buy that, I think.
That would be so cool. You know what I wanted to do? I would like to have a vintage horse saddles to put on my Christmas tree. Like kid saddles, not the big adult ones.
Let me ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever see, I'm dealing with things I've never seen before today for whatever reason, and it's really kind of weirding me out. How many of you have taken a cancellation request twice in the same day from the same buyer for the same item? So this guy bought this step-up voltage converter for me, and he said that he had it shipped to the wrong address, and he wanted to buy it again, but I needed to cancel it. So I'm like, okay, it's going to be like $80 after shipping everything. So I went in and allowed him to cancel it. And then I was quick about here's the new item number. So I gave him the new item number. About an hour later, I get and he had made an offer on it. So he made the same offer and I accepted it. And so now he comes back and he gives me another cancellation request. And he says, I need voltage converter that is taking 220 volt electricity to 110. So he bought the wrong thing, he didn't provide the right address the first time, and he's buying the wrong thing. So now he's going to get an approved cancellation request and a block because I can't deal with this kind of. Now that's not me being emotional. That's just me not wanting to have to bother with the next issue that he uncovers that may happen because
when he tries to buy it for a third time, not realizing it's the same thing.
My store has, I should get a sign here, no shoes, no shirt, no brain, no service. Okay.
Well, it depends on who you are about the shirt thing.
Well, I don't care about the shirt.
And I really don't care about your shoes, but they do need to match.
Yeah, well, the no brain thing is...
They do need to match.
What, I'm not matching?
Your shoes?
Oh, well, I'm not talking about that. Because, see, sometimes what's not seen is okay. So if I have two mismatched... Yes, I do. I've got two mismatched... What are they, moccasins?
Yes, they're just slippers, men's slippers.
She was bitching at me because I'm wearing my black Skechers, and I bought these slip-ons.
Marks all over my
You're leaving marks on my floor. So I'm like, okay, well, I found two mismatched for whatever the hell reason. Where are the other two? I don't know. Maybe I'll just wear these out, and if I find the other two, I have another new set that aren't a set. And I'm wearing them around in place of these things, so I have to hear her complain. And I'd rather wear my shoes, but I don't want...
No.
How many men out there?
Not in the house.
I'll just put it like this. How many men out there would go to an extreme like that so they don't have to hear the equivalent of nails on the chalkboard of the whining and complaining and the bitching?
There's no whining. I will complain to my dying day. I do not like dirty floors, and it absolutely drives me crazy. Right after I just got done mopping, and then he comes in, goes in the kitchen to go make himself something to eat. And here we are with black marks all over the floors that I just mopped. It's so infuriating. Lucky. It's worse than the children ever were with the floor.
So she's lucky. I really don't want to mess with signing in on Instagram right now and taking the time to find it. But anybody watch the little short where this guy is a deaf guy. He's been deaf all of his life.
You wish you were deaf.
And he's deaf all of his life. And he's in the doctor's office with his wife, and they have that new technology where he can finally hear. And he has the headphones on. He's like, "Can you hear me?" "Yeah, yes, I can hear you." And he's all kind of like emotional about it. And the wife's like, "Oh my God, that's so great, honey." And he's like, "What was that? Make it stop." That's exactly where I'm coming from, okay?
You're about to sleep in the shed. Shut your mouth.
Time to Sell Collectibles says put away until December 1st.
Time away.
Time away until December 1st. Heading to South Carolina.
Woo!
For family. That could be Southern California, though, too. For family Thanksgiving, we'll be hosting families from Kentucky, Florida, and Maryland. We'll video members from Washington, California, and Arizona.
Nice. That's going to be so much fun.
And there's many people taking time off. There's nothing wrong with that. I just, I enjoy what I do. I get up in the morning. I have a process. I do it. Coppercat says, "Hello, John, Jen, and FAA gang. I've gotten 3 sales before I've even clicked the like button." Well, there's more out there. Hit that like button. Get more sales. We tell you, hit the like button, get your sale within the next 24 hours. So make that happen, guys. I don't know how many people have hit the like button so far.
Oh my gosh.
Only 49 want a sale in the next 24 hours. Okay. Upstate Pick says,
50.
"I'm 100% done sourcing until May. I have 4 storage spaces. One I paid for, full of stuff I could not source for 5 years and still have stuff."
Wow.
That FOMO hits me hard, I guess, huh?
Wow.
And you deleted the Facebook app so you don't have to deal with it anymore. Brenda Smith is with us. Nice to see you, Brenda. We got Keith who said he was going to be on the road, and so he wasn't going to be able to message, but he found time to do it. "Hey all, can't chat and chat as the road trip, but we'll be listening in." Well, thanks
drive safe.
Yes, have a safe trip.
Hello, Henri Squaw.
Henri Squaw and Benison.
Benison
says hello. Nice to see you. Callie Debs is with us.
Callie Debs.
And in it to flip it.
Hello.
Andy Reno says, "FA family has everybody doing great news. Now AI can generate fake damaged products for the buyers."
What?
So here's the thing I want to talk to you guys about. So I had this board, and I guess I'll cue it up here. I should have queued it up already, but I had this board, and
it's a control board.
It's a control board for a ice machine, okay? And this thing was sold to an appliance shop in Northern California. The board looked great. We do an inspection on these things. If something looks out of place, it's in brand new packaging, everything. It looks great. So we shipped it, and we got a return request right here that said that the doesn't work or defective. And when you go into the return details, they say the part was installed. After I turn it back on, it shorted. There's no other reason for the short except for a bad board. So I'm like, okay, I took the return. Disappointed. It's a $200 sale. $186.99 plus the shipping. So, okay, fine. Send it back. Got a message the next day from the guy's wife, apparently, and said that we burnt the board out. We are the ones, it was our fault, not yours, that the board got burnt out, and therefore we will not be sending this back. So I said, well, sorry it didn't work out this time. And that's what I said back to them. So fast forward to Friday. I get a box in the mail. And you guys were here watching it. It's that cookie box. Milton's Gourmet Cookies. Okay? Now, mind you, we're talking a very small motherboard. It's probably a small box like that. 15-ounce box. This had to be about 2.5 to 3 pounds. Now, I'm going to ask you. Let's compare. Does this look like that? In fact, I used this information here with AI. I took some photos and I said, AI, what the hell is this thing? And apparently it is a part from a Whirlpool washing machine. So
it is a board, though.
It's a board, but it ain't the same anything close to that. So, okay, so now I got to drop $200 refund, and I feel like I'm getting scammed. So I do a little searching to find out. This is, and, you know, also their message when they said we're not sending it back. She said her name.
You can open this.
She said her name was Cheryl, and from this particular appliance store. So I'm like, well, why would anyone scamming me do that? So I looked it up, and from the city that's on the label, there is that appliance store. But of course, you guys know that eBay gives us their phone number in the end of the detailed. So I had sent over the weekend because I'm like, this store ain't going to be open. If it's a shop, it ain't going to be open until Monday. So let me send them a message over the weekend. Let's not try to process this return right now. I got till tomorrow to do it. And let them know, hey, what's happening here? I want to reach out to you guys before I open a case with eBay. And so I get the message from the, I guess, Cheryl again. And she says, about an hour before the show, by the way. I didn't see this until I'll tell you a second. But she said, yes, I intended it to go to someone else. Wow, I really managed to mess that one up. My husband has all our parts are in the van. Please give me a day to get this all figured. I apologize for the confusion. I figured it out. My husband went back to the job. He realized that the board blew and it was his fault, not yours. Therefore, I did not send you the board because he needed to pay for it. We did not have a refund owed to us. I'll try to see what I can do in my eBay account. Any suggestions? Also, can you kindly send me the washer control? I'll pay for the shipping. So sorry for this hassle. Now, before I saw that message, before the show started, I'm like, I had intended on calling this appliance shop. I called the first time. It went to voicemail, gave me a number to call, a different number to call, and I tried to go by memory, but of course, Siri was giving me a hard time, and I was in scramble mode, so I had to call back the number to get the number again so I can call the right number, and the guy answered. And so I said, hey, dude, and this is the guy that's on the account. I told him what's going on. He's like, yeah, that sounds like it was, call my wife. So he gave me the number for his wife. I called, and then no answer, but I saw the message that she left. So that is the weirdest thing. I've never had to reach out to a buyer like this, and the only reason I gave this person a chance, because there's a couple reasons, actually. We're talking a couple $100. Like, they screwed it up. They burned it. They owned it. They put it in writing. I don't want to give out even half of this. I could have reported the buyer, opened a case through eBay, and not knowing and leaving it up to a bot or someone who's incompetent at eBay who would actually either side with the buyer because they read one line in the first thing and they didn't read everything and they still gave them a full refund, or I was going to just go in and give them a 50% off of their refund. If I heard nothing back from them, I think I was just going to do that, do 50% off, and just, I'm only into the item for like $8. So, I saw it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I don't think it's a scam. I think these people are legit. So he retracts everything you said. But I never did accuse them of scamming. I had no idea on the Friday show what it was. I never said anything about it.
It was a joke.
There's no joking right now. I'm not in that mode.
I know.
I'm in full serious mode.
Yeah.
But
I don't appreciate this version of you.
I'm just fired up. Steve. I'm thinking about the other dude. Sorry about that, Thomas. Thomas is getting a haircut from the wife because I'm cheap, and then off to bed. Up at 6 hours for work. Good night, peeps. Okay.
You're cheap, and your wife's cutting your hair, but you're sending us the $20. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I can go get a haircut.
We appreciate you. No, he's never paid for $1 for a
never
a
because
haircut.
before I met you, I did before, and then they never got it right. It's like, how can you screw this up? All I wanted is like, I even brought a picture one time with me of the damn barber, and I'm like, this is what I want. This is the guy I used to be before this shit started growing out. And they screwed it up. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start doing it myself. And it was kind of a learning process, but I got it down now. So, and I'm saving myself money. So thank you for that.
So that I can get my hair cut.
The only thing I do is, honey, can you hit the back for me?
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I can't see the back otherwise.
I do have to cut the back of it.
And believe it or not, I've actually had to, in a pinch, do the back. And it doesn't come out bad, believe me. And how is Jenna today?
Jenna's fine.
We got Joe XNGH. I think it's Reno. No, Joe Samard. Joe Samard.
You just need to stop. Stop guessing because you're getting it all wrong.
But you're not helping me any.
It's Joe Samard.
Yes, I said that. Good afternoon, John and Jenna and FAA folks. Hope Monday is treating you well.
It is doing
nice to
just
see you.
fine. I don't know. This guy is in some weird. I don't know if he woke up on the right side.
Look, I'm letting you talk. I'm letting you talk. I'm not interrupting you. I'm not telling you to shut up.
You would never tell me to shut up.
Well, Todd is with us. I can
Hi,
say that.
Todd.
And then Flip It Good's with us.
Hello.
And then Derek W. Pat says, hello, all you awesome, beautiful people.
Hi, Derek.
Nice to see you guys. It's awesome that you're here.
I can literally smell the turkey in my mind. I can't wait to eat and fall asleep and thank God no more Black Friday shopping. Kids just want cash. We do not give cash for Christmas.
Yeah.
No cash, no gift cards. Absolutely not.
Not at all. So Friday, I'm debating on whether we're going to have this live. You guys, are we going to have the live on Friday?
I mean, are you guys going to be available?
It's Black Friday. It's a day after Thanksgiving. People are traveling, and I'm going to be a year older. I don't know. I just don't know. Should we do it? Maybe we should do a poll.
Hold on.
Okay, so look, again, here's the end result of this poll. I'll end the poll. The end of the poll that we just ran, 53% would give the 10% discount to the buyer. 5 would promote it without giving the discount. And we're just assuming everything's equal.
47%.
Item sells the same velocity. The next day you get an offer for 10% off. No promotion, or you sell organically at 5% with no 10% off to the buyer. So there it is. 53% would give the 10% discount. And I am only just asking those who put for the 10% to help me understand where you're coming from. That's just what I want to know. Okay, so we're going to do another poll. Oops, that's the wrong one. So we're going to do another poll, and I want to know, do you guys want a Black Friday live stream? So
yeah, Friday is John's birthday. So I'm torn.
Torn what?
Because I really would like to do something for your birthday. I just have not decided.
What, you're going to hit me with a pie or something, or what?
That would be fun.
Yeah, it would be great, huh?
On camera.
I'm sure.
I may invite Archie.
You might have to clean the mess.
I always clean your
You
flippin' mess.
cannot use anything. Okay, but
always clean your mess.
Everybody know where I'm going with that. I'm going to get going. Jody, some Triple J reseller, says, hi, John, Jenna, and FA chat. Nice
Hello,
to see
Jody.
you. We got Grams from Grams and Pops Vintage.
Hello, Grams.
Ping G says, happy Monday, John and Jenna. And Tommy Z says, many thanks for yet another live. Well, thank you for being here. Speaking of scams, how is your car warranty, John?
We don't have a
car. Those are scams.
Those are scams.
But I'm so happy that you had mentioned this. I was going to forget. So,
you're never going to see that note again.
No. I am going to see it. Let's put that there. When you refinance a car loan, and you have gap on the existing loan, and it's been like 9 months or whatever, we just got a much better rate after 9 months. That gap still has value, and it can be refunded. So I'm going to try to see if I can get that refunded. We got Biff says, John, always too tough on himself.
Oh, always. Always.
Well, you know,
in every scenario.
If I am not my biggest critic, who else is going to be? I mean, you're going to be?
I am a critic, all right. And
when you're paying attention. Henri Squaw says, are you getting sick, Jenna?
No, I hope not.
We got Jen JRKR says, hi everyone. His sales are not Q4 like. I'm hearing that a lot. There's a lot of people that are saying that their sales are slower. One thing I wasn't going to mention, but I guess I'll mention it because I don't want it to come off the wrong way. But look, things happen. I think there's something going on with eBay.
That's my store.
It is, and that's what I wanted to show.
Oh.
You guys notice something here on this store. We've had nothing but, through October, $100 here, $200 there, $100. A low day would be like $83, $75. Great day on last Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, blah. Wednesday, blah. But Thursday and Friday, not a darn thing.
Nothing.
And then we got things kind of normalized again, 114 today. So, I mean, we're last 31 days, $4,000, and last 90 days, $11,008. So that's our secondary store, but it's like, what the heck is going on? The same attention's being paid. Now, that's being performance based. I get it. So if we look at traffic, I don't see a dip in traffic. The traffic looks pretty actually increased over the last couple of days. But these are the days where we had no sales. You can see no sales. And that was kind of like, what the heck's going on? So maybe it's sort of the same idea that you have a huge sales day and there's no actual explanation for it and the same traffic. And I guess it's possible to have just no sales, but back-to-back days, I thought was kind of interesting. But has anybody seen over, this was Friday, this was on Thursday and Friday. Anybody see like next to no sales on those 2 days and other days have been okay? Cry Me a River says, hello fam, hello John and Jenna, nice to see you.
Hello.
And I don't think that's your name though normally.
No.
I think it's something else.
I just don't. Is that Daisy?
Maybe. Michael Mullet says, I'll watch the rerun later. Just wanted to stop and say hi to all you beautiful people. Hope you guys have a great night.
Oh, hello.
Well, thank you for being here. Graham says, watch our video on Wednesday as we have a new alternative to combat eBay promotions. Ooh. So you got a secret method, huh?
Interesting.
I'll have to take note of that. Okay. We shall take a look.
Watch Wednesday, Grams and Pops Vintage.
We shall. We'll be driving. We're going to go and I'm going to go play around a golf with some local friends and friends that are out of town that are visiting as well. And she's going to go along for the ride and apologize to people if I hit their house. But
no, I'm not. You will do that. You will be doing that.
To be honest, I haven't hit a house in a while. Now that I say that.
You better knock on this.
Yeah. I've hit over houses, though. I've hit into the other side of their house, into the street kind of thing. I've not heard back from anyone yet. Upstate Pick says, I promote it flat 5% on everything already. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, promoted fee includes shipping and taxes. It does. It does. Cry Me River says, I'd rather give a discount than promote. And if we're doing 5%, okay, let's say you're doing 10% discount, 10% promotion where you're getting the same result, then I would agree based on the numbers. I would agree. And if the flip says, basic math, if both options result in sales, of course promoting 5% is better for the seller. But we had 53% that had another idea, so I'm curious as to what that's about. Huh? What? It was 47. No, No, 53% said they'd rather give the 10%.
Yeah.
Todd says it's not a fair compare. There is no way to guarantee a sale with the promotion.
Absolutely correct.
There is no way to guarantee a sale with the promotion at all. There's no way to guarantee a sale with an offer. How many times you sent an offer and you didn't get a sale? What I'm saying is, if we're comparing just on the basis of the two different options, I'm not promoting, but I'm going to have my offers turned on, and if I can give an offer, I'll give 10%, or I'm going to go, because my first 30 days I don't give offers, so I promote. I mean, I just try to sell it based on the item's merit at the price that I think is fair. And so in this case, let's say I'm promoting at 5% with no offer. You have the same $100 item with offers, and someone hits you up to get it for $90, you take it, right? So you're getting like after the math was like $78 or something after fees. And again, we're not counting the shipping in this. So you're still, like this person's still gonna have, like they said, gonna have to pay 10% of or 5% of that label cost, right? But it's still where it's a net win on the 5%. The person that promoted it at 5% without taking the offer is going to make more money. And I think we're talking about, like, the video that I put out last week was about a week and a half ago. Was talking about leaks. What are some leaks that you have in your reselling business? And what the hell do you mean by leaks? When you have opportunities that are like an opportunity to make more money on an item, that you could say the example I gave you could be interpreted as a leak. The person who's not promoting in that scenario is losing $2 to $3 per sale off of $100. So that would be, to me, a leak. A leak could be, how do you treat your time? How do you handle your business in that way? I mean, just different things that you can do better to help make your business better and optimize it.
Did you come up with that word? No,
it's a poker term. I mean, like you play cards, right? Anybody play cards, and the way you play your cards could be, causing you like a lot of money. There's people do calculations on how much money you're losing per hour sitting at a poker table if you do X, Y, and Z instead of X, Y, and B, or A, B, and C. So it's the same kind of mindset, because in many cases, your business is kind of like a game. How many out there, and we'll look at promoted listings. This is a bad analogy, and I'll move on to the next thing. This is a bad analogy, but I'll say it anyway. If you play Monopoly and you only buy properties but refuse to ever buy houses or hotels, you're probably not going to do as well as a person who buys the houses and hotels. And the houses and hotels come at an extra cost, i.e. promoted listings, but you tend to make more money as a result. Just putting that out there. Callie Deb says, I do both. Promote many things that I need, and it runs sales smoothly. Mm-hmm. And like I said, there's no need to throw a blanket at it. I just do it because it's part of my process. I'd rather spend the time just listing and stuff than getting into a deep dive into each of my items. But I think if you sell within a niche, you don't have to go into each of your items. You can have an idea of what your competition looks like and know how to attack it, whether you're promoting or not. But I just think sometimes we source, we list, or we photo, we list, we ship, and we don't want to do anything else because it's outside of our comfort zone. But that lack of doing the extra things and to really deep diving into who your competition is and to how you're handling that competition, I think is costing you money. How many people we showed you that all resellers should have access to their listing quality report. How many resellers right now even bother looking at that? Even know what the top 10% of your category actually promote at? How many, and it doesn't just stop there. It goes into what do the top 10% of your category do in this situation, that situation, that situation. It's all laid out for you, but I'm willing to bet there's a number of you who haven't even looked at that yet. And it's getting outside of your comfort zone to understand that and learn that to improve your results. Flip It Good says, I promote, send offers, and have a coupon all the time. Mm-hmm. Tommy Z says, all my new listings as of this week, 0 are promoted. We'll see how it pans out. I think this week's going to be tough with sales. If you think about it, there's two sides of the coin. One would be like, yeah, we're up against a lot of these Black Friday sales. So, you're selling your used item. It's almost the price of these Black Friday sales, right? And eventually those prices are going to go up. But I think people are going to rather buy the new than the used thing because it's only a few dollars more. But the other side of that coin is there's going to be more velocity of people looking for Black Friday sales, and maybe they can't find the thing on a Black Friday sale that they're looking for, and then they go over to eBay and find your item at the regular price and buy it. So there's two sides of that coin. Devon says, hello, nice to see you.
Hello, Devon.
Honor Squad says, I promote, but I would rather do the discount because it'll cost me less. Let's just, look, the idea was that the shipping was only going to be a few dollars. Let's just say it's a really small item. It's 12 ounces. At the end, you technically will make more money by promoting the 5% versus giving the buyer a 10% discount. That's kind of the premise on it. But when we still do that, so because the promoted fee is not just on the price, but the shipping and taxes. But let's just say in the example that it works out to where you are still making more money after that. Maybe it's $1 or $2. Todd says, still contend if my item is good, I don't need to promote. Then you don't need to give out an offer or take an offer either. But we do. We still do that. Algorithm is always a mystery.
Absolutely true.
And no one's going to figure it out.
Nobody will.
We can have an idea.
And by the time if somebody does figure it out, it's going to change.
How I feel about the algorithm is going to be different than you can pick 10 random people that are watching this show right now, and they're going to have a different idea about how the algorithm is as it pertains to what they're selling. And we're all going to attack it based on what we think, rather than some yahoo who's sitting up here every Monday and Friday. Upstate Pick says, I did 100% by accident once, never again. That is
ask
so.
Ask John how that went.
Well, I did 2 items at 100%.
On purpose.
Neither of them sold. And neither of them hit the top ranking either, and those weren't great listings. Those were really old, stale listings that have been sitting in my store for a long time. And looking back on that, if I was to go back and do a critique on that video I did the video on that like 3 years ago about, I listed 2 items at 100% and gave them like a solid 2 weeks, willing to just say, I'm going to give the item, it's going to be free, and I'm paying eBay fees on top of that. So I lost more money than throwing it in the trash, but I did it for the video's sake. No one should ever do that for their business, but I did it for the channel. But going back on that, it really told me a lot about what I was doing then with my processes versus what I'm doing now. I took 2 older items that were stale as all hell, that had been sitting in my store, wasn't doing an end item sell similar for those items, and those were earmarked as being stale by eBay. And so no matter what I did to that item, even give it 100%, it was still not going to achieve the most optimal top spot. Even though you think that you're giving eBay 100%, they should give you, it'd be in their best interest to give you that top slot because they're making more money. So it's, we all think about eBay and they're money hungry, but that kind of just proves that there's other factors involved than just money that determines where you get promoted. Great Deals Depot says, been forever since I have caught alive. Nice seeing both of you. I watch all the videos though. Thanks for what you do. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate that. It's something that I like to do. Who the hell else am I going to talk to about my eBay problems or my eBay issues if I don't have you guys?
Oh, I'm sure you'll find someone to talk to. It
used to be I could call Archie, and Archie would be right there with me.
Archie's not available.
Archie is. He'll talk to me about it. Don't get that wrong. He'll talk to me about it, but he's not as invested in the conversation because he's not on that same level. Now, maybe because he's listing more eBay stuff now, he'll be that again. But I have you guys to come to, and also on the Discord to say, hey, what do you think? And usually there's someone there to give me their opinion. Chaos for hire. I submitted a negative feedback removal and was denied. Just admitted an appeal. Wish me luck. Feedback saying I did not send the item and did not give them their money back. And that is...
there's more.
That's a little different than mine. But I canceled their order due to a bad address. Not sure why eBay allows buyers to leave negative feedback on canceled orders. And they don't. You had a bot and someone who didn't do their job and to investigate. So here's the deal, because this is probably going to happen. Your rebuttal to that negative feedback being denied, or your appeal, is probably going to come back as denied. And in your messages, there's going to be a little thing on the upper corner of that message that says reply. Reply to it. And it may take you a couple times, but make your case and point to policy on how eBay's dropping the ball. And and how that negative shouldn't be there. And eventually someone will go in and look at it and remove it. Callie Deb says, better than promoting and running sales is cross-posting to Etsy and Posh. Most of my sales are coming from different platforms. That's another strategy. That's another strategy you can do. Mm-hmm. Use tools like TreeCat to get your item over to these other platforms without doing extra work. Because, if you want to cross-post without the software like TreeCat, you're going to be doing a lot more extra work just getting your photos over to those, redoing your photos or re-uploading your photos, when you can have a tool like TreeCat that can do it for you. And you can use TreeCat. If you use the link down below, you can use TreeCat to get their services for 2 months for free. So go and check them out. And we'll be doing a giveaway again at the end of the show. I'll do a giveaway for a hat and a shirt. So stay tuned with us on that. Henri Squaw says, I actually do both on a lot of sales. Yeah, and I do a little of everything. After 30 days, I'll introduce offers. I'll put that in when I end those items and I relist. I will then introduce. What I do is I bump up my promoted a couple points to 10.1%, and then I slap it with a little offer action. And then, that also does help. Duncan's having a hard time packing orders.
You can do it!
You can do it!
Devon always runs sales and promotes. And then Biff says the 5% promoted listing comes off the entire transaction, only benefits eBay. The 10% off only affects the sale price, so they can affect the bottom line. Similarly, if you sell low value items, it depends. But I'm just saying, let's just assume, we have this shipping that's in there and taxes that are in there, and the way you have it set up, it's like you still make an extra $1 or $2 with the 5%. I just want to see it, and the math is part of this, but the 5% makes you more money in this example. Okay, would you still offer the 10% versus promoting it? Great Deals Depot, still have not decided what I'll be going once it starts.
Oh, the promoted thing in January.
Yeah, I just look at it the way I've always looked at it. When I promote, I assume that the promoted rate is going to be for every item I sell. We got Spam Banshee. Nice to see you.
Spam!
We got Craig Landshark Picker. Says, I said it earlier, what do you have to lose by not promoting? You may be happy with your current level of sales, but how do you know if you couldn't be doing better with the same effort? It's comfort. It's the unknown. It's like I'm used to being charged 13.25%, and the idea of me being charged 18.25% is unsettling. I don't want to do that. Do you guys know that I think Amazon is like 20% if you're selling on there? Poshmark's certainly 20%, right? And is it Mercari the same? Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I don't even remember.
They
haven't sold anything on there.
Well, we have to get our stuff. We have to get our stuff back up there because I took a lot of it down. So, but you are not paying on eBay as much as you are on some of these other platforms without promoting. So it's like, why not take the best platform traffic wise and evaluate the item? If you have competition now, if you don't have a lot of competition. You aren't going to create demand by promoting your item. If no one's searching for that item that you have for sale, they might see it. It might come up in a search, in an unrelated search, right? Because eBay is doing their best to match your item with the buyer's search. But maybe that ain't the item the buyer is looking for, and you're going to show impressions because of that. but maybe you don't have a buyer searching for the item you're selling, you can promote the hell out of that item and it's not going to sell. You cannot create demand through promotion. It just doesn't. It's not going to create buyers out of the thin blue air to come on and to buy your item. Chaos for Hire says, I have been doing a blanket 2% promoted. My sales are great at what I want. They could be better if I promote at a higher percentage. I'm willing to bet. I'm curious if you just bump that up by 0.1. Now, this is going to sound ridiculous, but everyone that promotes where they don't want to promote and they only promote the bare minimum are at 2%. I wonder what percentage of people promote. I wish eBay would put this out. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it just doesn't do them any service because they want to make everyone think that everyone's promoting at 15%. So they would never put out a report like that. But if we can get the data that shows of the people who promote, where do people promote most of their items, I'm willing to bet a good percentage of the people that are promoting are only at 2%. And if you just bumped it up at 2.1, you separate yourself just a little bit from that pack. I wonder what kind of difference you'd see. Todd says, Devon, my adopted stepdaughter from another grandfather. Rad Relics John says, I promote nothing for the first 90 days. And look, I think we should all try to figure out a process that we follow. And it could be no promotions for X amount of days. And then you introduce promotions at the minimum after it's been listed for so many days. And then every month that item still stays in your store, you're adding or you're changing your promoter. You're bumping it up by a percentage point or two. And depending on how aggressive you want to be, you can do like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or you can just do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then heck, you're at 10%, but the item's been in your store for a year, right? By the time you get to that point. So at what point do you want to just cut ties? That's another thing. We are not, last time I checked, we're not all getting together on these lives because we want to figure out how to better run our museums. It's like you might have some cool pieces and stuff, but when was the last time you charged someone admission to come and look at all this crap? So you're not running a museum, you're running an eBay store. And to hold on to your items for more than a year, I think is something's not right. And at that point, if you feel like I can't just give this away because it has value, you need to figure out why it's not selling. And that's where a lot of sellers run short. They shortchange themselves because they're not taking that extra step to find out why. Because I've always said that with most items, not all, because some piece of turd is not going to sell. I don't care how you price it or promote it. But if it has value to someone out there, then there's a reason why it's not selling. And it's up to us to figure that out. There's an answer to almost every sales problem out there. Jay Collings, $27.90. I'd like to give a discount, but many want to negotiate the price. Even if best offers are off, they still message.
Yes.
Yeah, they do. They will say, you have a $100 item out there, will you take 70 for this? And I guess it's up to each and every person to determine, decide everyone's going to have a different answer to this. You might jump at it if you're only into it for $10. But if I just listed it last night, the answer is probably going to be no. If I had it, up for a year and someone out of the blue comes and says, hey, will you take 70? That might be the reason why it never sold, because the market is really 70. And you probably would be better off taking it. So, yeah, I agree. Cry Me River says, before I started selling, I did not want to click on sponsored listings to buy what I needed. It's hard to explain, but in my head, I felt like clicking in an advertisement.
That's so funny you say that, because I'm the same way.
But you're a faux reseller, John.
I think he's talking Rad Relics.
Oh, yeah, because it has an H in there. Mm-hmm. But I've been guilty of misspelling my name. Jay Collings, but I choose promoted to get more people seeing the item, thus possibly getting full or better negotiated price. Mm-hmm. Or the full ask. There's many times that I'm trying to figure out, get an item for the first time. What's the market for this? So I'm looking at seeing how I want to price it. And I'm like, wow, they've sold this for $130, $140. And I was thinking it was only going to go for $100. But you know what? They probably did some of the things that eBay wants you to do. Free shipping, free returns, probably a pretty decent promoted rate, but at the end they're making more than the person that sold it for $100. In it to flip, it says $100 total sale with shipping, tax, etc. 10% off was 90 minus final value fee 79. Yes, you make more with the 5.5% promo fee. Yes. But knowing that, would you still do the 10% over the 5% promoted? And the thing is, Rad Relic says, shill. Look, I just want to see eBay. I want to see eBay succeed enough so they're not closing their shop. Because eBay shuts down tomorrow, and it's gonna be like, where do I get the same velocity of sales? It's not there. I'm sure there'll be another place that would maybe pick up the slack, but it's gonna put a lot of people into a lot of problems. So I don't want to see eBay fail, but I certainly don't want to get fleeced by them either. So it's just, you guys know how I feel about that. I just think sometimes we for the sake of feeling better, and this is where our feelings get in the way of our business, we feel like we don't want to keep feeding the beast, so we're willing to eat a couple dollars per sale. And at the end of the year, you lost money. You actually could have gone maybe on vacation with the money you could have made. Todd says, my philosophy, if it needs promoting, it needs to be in the trash or donated. But why do you feel that way? Now, there's reasons why one would promote, and it has nothing to do with, we talked about two different examples. I mean, some people think that, okay, I can use promoted, up the price a little bit, get my asking price because I'm higher up. People don't want to go to page 2 or 3 to find your item. They just want to find it and get going on with their lives. I'm not that kind of shopper, by the way. I'll go to page 10 if I have to, but that's just me. As referenced last night, I bought a pair of bowling shoes, and I started at 9 o'clock, and I didn't finish till 12:30 before I figured out what the hell I wanted and found the deal that I was looking for. I am so bad.
Yes,
but
it was very annoying.
Not all buyers are like me. Some people want what they look. This is a fair price. They like, look, I figured it was going to cost me $100. Here's one for $100. I'm just going to go buy it. When they could have shopped a little harder and got it for $80, but you were on page 3 because you weren't promoting. And so now, if you are not interested in the velocity, if you buy an item and say, look, as long as this thing sells in the next year, I'm good with it, and you just put it away, and I'm just, as long as I get the price that I'm searching for without promoting, okay. For me, I could not have near the success that I have right now with my business with that mindset. I want my items to have the velocity, and I can't just wish on it that it's going to sell. I can't just count on no promotion. eBay is making us do this, guys. eBay is making us play this game. And for those who reluctantly just kind of figure out, you know what, I have to do it, they find out that their sales improve once they move over to promoted listings. I'm just telling you. Here's Biff. Question, if you enact 10% promoted listings, how much do your sales need to increase? Since it comes off the entire transaction, you should probably see a 15% increase minimum. How about this? I promise you this. If I was to go on to my main store and turn off promoted listings altogether, I would see a huge decrease in sales, and I'm willing to put money up that it would be at least 50% decrease in sales. I'll wager that against anyone. So it's not just 10 to 15%. It is closer to 50% for what I sell. And I will wait. I'm a gambling guy. I've got a bankroll. I'll be glad to wager money against. Now, I don't know if the idea of me losing 6,000 to 8,000 in sales to prove a point just to win $1,000 bet would be the smartest thing to do. But you guys understand where I'm coming from. Virginia Carolina Pickers says, hi, Jenna and John. Dana here. New name, trying to get my branding, store, and socials all match. Y'all agree 100% RIP picking with the pages.
Yay!
Just picking with the pages. Nice to see you.
Thanks for being here, Dana.
But now it's Virginia Carolina Pickers.
Virginia Carolina.
So right on the border. Now, when you remember when we were driving and through that hill country of Virginia, and it went right into...
I don't remember much of that drive.
I was dead tired.
We were in a bad situation.
We were dead tired, but the drive from West Virginia to North Carolina, it was probably one of the most picturesque drives I've taken in a long time.
How could it be?
It was
dark.
beautiful. No, it wasn't dark because we had stopped at the West Virginia Walmart to go get some things we needed, and then it was light outside. She is like totally forgot the whole thing. We were driving in like Ohio at dark. By the time we got to West Virginia, it was 6 a.m., and then the rest of the trip was just pretty cool. JRKR says, I have a friend who is never happy with their sales but refuses to promote at all. I think it's crazy. I'm curious though, those who refuse to promote, if you were to see a 5 to 10% increase in your bottom line, and I'm thinking it's going to be a lot more than that for many people. Let's say 10% increase in your bottom line year over year. So if someone came to you and said, look, you made $50,000 in sales on eBay. You're going to make $55,000 after all the fees are taken out. All your expenses are taken out. You're going to make an extra $5,000 next year. Would you be good with that? And if you ask them what the catch is, yeah, you got to promote. Would you do it? Or would you just settle for the $50,000? I'm just curious. And if this is about making money, why wouldn't you put yourself in the best position to make as much money as possible, even doing something you really hate doing? Devon says, I got my feedback score to 100%. Is eBay fixing that now? Well, your feedback probably, your negatives probably dropped off. So that's probably what happened there. Let's see. Yeah, on my example, though, let's just say you were offering free shipping. Fine, let's say free shipping. $100 sale. You're going to be responsible for that shipping label. The taxes are going to be on $90 for the 10% deal or $100. It's still going to be the same. Riprock 88 says, I only promote items that have a lot of competition. My items that have little or no competition, I don't promote. Keywords really help. And that's where I'm coming from. You know, there's been many people that we've looked at their stores and said, look, I can see you not promoting here because you were the only one on this listing. When we look up the listing, a lot of times on these lives that we do for the members, we'll look at a store and we will compare to see how they're doing versus that listing's doing versus the competition. And some items we're not seeing a whole lot of competition, so you're still on page 1 in the first 20 spots. Why would you do anything with that? But the other items that are in saturated category like clothing and sports cards and things like this, they're not promoting it all, and they're wondering why they can't find their items. Well, chances are your items are stuck on page 3, 4, or 5, and you haven't found it because of that. Your items aren't getting the kind of placement that you want them to have because you're not looking at it as a tool to get past the competition. And other people are using that tool, and eBay is going to push them up ahead of your listing because of that. And that's just as simple as it is. It's 100% about competition and nothing else. It's not going to create buyers. It's not going to necessarily create sales. If you promote something that has no demand, promotions aren't going to save it. I'm sorry. You can have that top slot for that item, and if nobody wants it, eBay's not going to buy it from you. Craig says, sales velocity keeps you from being a hoarder. Yes. Todd says, I will be the litmus test for everyone. I will not promote. If it doesn't sell, it's on me for that bad buy. And you are comfortable with that. I think that is a hill that you are proud of and that you are going to die on. And you're happy about that hill. We don't know what we don't know. But again, my question to you is, if you knew you can make an extra $5,000 or $10,000 next year because and that's money in your pocket, $5,000 or $10,000 extra after it's all said and done, all because you did something you weren't comfortable doing, would you still do it? It's a lot like the question that I asked initially. See, Land Shark says, a quicker sale means I can reinvest that money sooner. It's that churn, right? And I think it's the compounding that just kind of blows people away, because a lot of us aren't thinking like that. And I'm not saying you're wrong for not thinking like that. I'm just saying that sometimes, I get accused of this all the time. I get accused of, not being willing to try new things. More returns?
Yep.
Are you serious? 3. This is horrible.
3.
And that's my reaction to returns. But then I get over it. I don't allow it to. It's my disappointment of them following through with them sending it back.
He brought Christmas gifts.
Well,
I said, those are not Christmas gifts, sir.
John says, I sell one-offs and my game is just list more than enough to keep shit selling every day. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of what I do. I get out there, I'm listing. I've got stuff back here that I'm listing, but I'm still finding that I'm not getting as much good stuff as I'd like. So by the time we get to Monday, Tuesday, I'm running out of things to list on the main account because I've already listed it all. And then I just have to wait till Wednesday, which is my normal day to go get stuff, which maybe tomorrow when I go grab it.
Are you going tomorrow?
I might. Virginia Carolina Picker says 112 watching, only 30 likes.
I know. What's going on, people?
People that want that sale in the next 24 hours. I mean, I guess
69 people.
Look, there's some people that might be in vacation mode, and it's like, I really don't want to bother with the sale in the next 24 hours anyway, because then I have to,
the new
worry about
count
that.
is 69. So hit that like for your sale, guys.
Let's see.
Do it. Do it now.
Landsharks is promoting shit at 50% will not make it sell. You're right.
Absolutely true.
I need to I guess I need to take 2 items I could care less about,
whole store.
And then just take those items and sell them at 100% and try that 100% experiment again.
What did you mouth?
What did I mouth? What?
I don't know. What did
You're
you
looking
mouth?
at a replay of that. I don't know. She's watching the
not a
live
replay.
like 10%, 10 seconds later, so it's throwing me off here.
No, I'm looking.
Devon sells wants, not needs. Susan Patoya, 1503. Pantoya says, I'm agree with you what you're saying.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad someone is. Darn it. Rad Relic says, John is getting better because he signed up for the Pegasus class. Yeah,
that's a big fat no.
The consultation is real, guys. It's real. Just saying.
That guy.
The consultation is real. Todd says, if nobody buys my stuff, I made a bad buy. No promotions will make that better. No, but it'll make it faster. And again, I think there's some that are like, if it's in my store for 6 months versus 2 weeks, they don't care. But for me, I want that stuff. Craig says, John, did he use your referral link?
For Pegasus.
Yeah. Jen, I thought you loved golf.
No.
Biff says it's hard to measure the good will get you as a niche seller. And
Read it all together.
I just read it. I'm trying to comprehend it. It's hard to measure the good will get to, it's not written right. Sorry, Biff. It's hard to measure the good will get you as a niche seller when you give the buyer a discount instead of eBay, the promoted listing fee. But it does mean something. Did you get that?
No.
Okay. Was it me?
No.
Okay. Henri Squaw says, I'm actually making more money on Poshmark and Mercari than eBay.
Really?
Some people are.
I mean, some people are, and that's great. I'm glad you are. We aren't.
Sutter's Mill says, do you think junk drawer listings are worth it? It's easy money from a clutter or too much work for little profit. I've never tried it, but I'm thinking about it.
I mean, it depends on what you have in your junk drawer.
Okay, so...
Because I have...
This is not a junk drawer. This is stuff that I've pulled. This is an actual vacuum that this is the parts from the vacuum. The bin is like $20-something. The brush roll is like $15. The bumper is like $20 plus shipping. The battery cover is like $13.99 free shipping. The brush roll cover is like $12.99 free shipping. To me, is it worth it?
It's worth it to move it. If you're trying to move it, it's worth it. Get it out of your house. Stop with the junk drawer. I couldn't sell anything in my junk drawer. I have lots of pens and pencils and knives, like the X-Acto knives.
I'm about to do that. Hiya! I wasn't done.
You're never done. That's a problem. That's why I have to interrupt, because he's never done talking.
Okay, listen. What I was trying to say is, if I pick that vacuum up at a yard sale for $10, there's easily $150 worth of parts in that thing. The wheels that I've already listed are like $40 a piece. the two side wheels. The motherboard on that thing is like $30 to $40. I mean, there's so many components on there that
Donkey bar is good. What does that mean?
Donkey Bar. Sign up for their consultation at that Donkey Bar. I'm telling you. You'll thank me later. Spam Banshee says, times are changing in the reselling world. I'm concerned for sellers who are against promoting and using AI tools to list. I worry they may be left in the dust.
Yes, and I heard you say that today on your show, and I could not agree more.
I just can't imagine. Whatever it is you choose to do, I can't imagine going into 2026 doing the same thing I did in 2025 and knowing that in 2025 I didn't have a good year, and it's just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, whether you're promoting or using a tool or it's every person here needs to try to find ways to get their business, improve their business in some way. If we're just doing the same thing we did 10 years ago because it worked 10 years ago, it's a different world now. You're up against different competition, and they're using different tactics to beat you at this game. And I'm just telling, and I hate to say that, but the Doritos After Dark were a weird flex. It was a weird flex.
You're gonna have to tell me what this Dorito mess is.
I'm gonna have to tell you what the Dorito mess is. It's because you're not. She chooses to be oblivious to a lot of this stuff, which is, I don't blame her. I kind of wish I was too. I don't think I have. Okay, let's see.
You can't just tell me?
No, I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at. Hopefully, I am not off base here. Oh, I'm not showing you his videos. I'm not showing you his videos.
He's blocked on my channel. So
I'm not showing you his videos at all, ma'am. Anyway, Edit to Flip says, I finally got blocked from the Not a Unicorn channel. He didn't like hearing people critique him. It's not good for business.
Is this the same person? Is he referring to the same person?
Who referring to the same person? Yes, he is.
Okay.
He is. But I was actually looking to see if I could find her just a screenshot.
Are you talking about this?
No, that's selling Cheetos on eBay. That's not it. That's something different.
Okay, moving on.
It's something I have to show you later. Devon says, please smash the thumbs up to make the eBay sale.
Yes. Do it. You can do
it.
Devon says, listings are getting lower on eBay, not as many sellers anymore. Okay, so here's the thing. I think fewer sellers is a good thing for those who actually remain on the platform. So people are like, look, I give up. I'm not going to play this game on January 13th when every listing pretty much, or the majority of our listings that are promoted are going to get hit with that feed.
I'm sorry. It was in the moment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And you're messing my train of thought up.
I know.
If people quit over changes that eBay makes, then the buyers aren't going to quit. If eBay keeps... Now, they've been quitting over the last few years because eBay hasn't been advertising, but they have recently this year begun advertising. Heck, even in the World Series, they're advertising. So they're getting more eyes on their product. So I'm here. I'm here to take whatever buyers you guys don't want if you want to quit. Craig says, one misconception is that the eBay algorithms are for sellers. Their job is to present the buyers with items they will more than likely buy. It's a buyer's algorithm. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%. It's a buyer's algorithm, but us sellers are attacking that algorithm as sellers instead of attacking it as buyers. If we put the buyer's lens on it and then make the decisions with our business to give ourselves the best chance to succeed in this algorithm, you're going to do better than if you look at it as a seller. Paul Rose, nice to see you.
It's the count.
Yes. TRD Off-Road 2020, I list from a buyer's perspective, 100%. You have to.
Yes, you have to.
You have to. If you think, oh, fire emoji, you know, like Devon, if this was Devon's title, it would be just no buyer is putting fire emojis.
But you are fired up. I don't know what lit under your ass today,
fired up.
But
Fired up, darn it. Maybe it's because I had a nap earlier. It was only a 20-minute quick nap. I don't take
Must
long
be
nap.
nice. I didn't have one.
Stats don't lie. Yes. Shopping with Cheryl says, if Jenna smacks John, I'm going to swear I didn't see a thing. But it's recorded. We got Travis in Dallas had something to say, but he
button.
decided against it.
Huh?
Travis in Dallas is with us. He had something to say, but he decided against it. Okay, here's January is usually good for me. I think January is a decent month. I think the first week usually is kind of an extension of the last week or two of December, and things tend to pick up. Well, look at the numbers. You can shake your head all you want. I'll run reports when this is over with.
End of January is when it started to pick up for us last year.
Cry Me River says, I agree, John. I always think how I would search for this item that I'm trying to list when I'm typing the title, but never tried AI. Yeah.
You should do it.
Try it.
Try it, because honestly, it's going to make your life so much easier.
Take a title, copy it, paste it, and say, how could I optimize this title for better SEO placement in eBay search? And see what it says. Mm-hmm. Paul says, it's obvious what to do. Find out where Jamie keeps his pacifier, heist it, and refuse to give it back until they scrap, promote it, and fix search. Well, apparently they keep his pacifier where they found that remote control in the garage that they sold. Anybody believe that?
Huh?
Here you have a man that makes millions of dollars as being the eBay CEO, and he came out earlier this year and with some convoluted story that his wife or significant other said, hey, honey, here's this, I think it was a remote or something for the thing that we don't have anymore. And he's like, sell it on eBay. Dude, you make $30 million or whatever the hell it is that eBay pays you. You ain't selling a $10 remote on eBay, okay?
You're not going to put in any work towards that at all.
I promise you, Jamie Iannone has not listed nothing on eBay. I would be surprised. I'll take that back. I would be surprised. Why is that popping up?
Why is that popping up?
I don't know.
Make it unblue.
Okay. You're so picky tonight.
Because I cannot read them.
You're ruining the viewer experience by telling people what's popping up on my screen.
Are you having a ruined viewer experience?
Yes.
Seeing us collide today?
Dre says, hello, John and Jenna in chat. Sold $700 over the weekend, including today with 0 promoted fees. There you go. And here's the deal. You might be 100% doing it right by not promoting, and it depends on maybe you are selling $700 worth of items that have low competition. My only contention is for those who don't promote and you have high competition and you do make a sale, once in a while in that category, how many more sales are you passing up because you don't? That's kind of all I'm saying. So, and if you I don't know what you sell there, Dre, but if you
t-shirts, boots,
if it's clothing, then again, I got to look up the kind of stuff, because if it's stuff that's rare, then you still shouldn't promote. But if it's stuff that isn't, I'm willing to say that you're probably leaving money on the table. Biff says, you can't assume AI has really optimized your title. The big help is the description and the item specifics automation. I get AI titles of 66 characters, dumb words, and useless prepositions. And I've got to tell you that, so the difference between taking like the Common AI browser, I just use that all the time. I have a tab that's running constantly, and I just simply paste a current title. Maybe it's I piggybacked off of that, or it's an Amazon title for the item I'm about to list, and say optimize. I don't even have to tell it. It knows to optimize the listing, but it doesn't. It knows also that I've told it a series of commands at the beginning how I want it to optimize. Now, a lot of these programs, these AI listing programs, they'll do a decent job, but they don't have the extra commands given to them to tailor it the way you want it and the way I want it. So the way I want it is I want it front loaded. If it's a third-party brand, and this is what a lot of these AI listers don't do. If it's a third-party brand that's not really all that popular, it's still going to put the brand up there because eBay wants the brand up there. But I'm here to tell you, unless it's a brand that a buyer is going to use in search, it's worthless to put that brand in the title at the front, at the very least. Sometimes I'll put what it is without putting the brand because no one's going to search for that brand. I mean, Hell, I couldn't even remember half the brands that are on Amazon. There's some names that you'll never remember, and a buyer's not going to remember to type that in, and they don't really want that off-brand. They want the better brand, if I'm being honest.
I don't care about brands.
Biff says, my GPT titles, which I have prompted very specifically, are excellent, though. But that's exactly what I just said. You have tailored it to what you want. TRD Off-Road says, a promotion sale while watching. You just ended or probably created one. Yeah. Now here's the thing also. Don't get this mixed up. In this conversation, I'm talking about promoted listing standard. In no way, shape, or form am I ever going to suggest the common seller use promoted listing priority, where you're paying every time someone clicks into your item or they do a search and you get placement based on the words that you're paying for. I think that's if you want to talk money grab, that's the money grab that doesn't get sellers much at all. In fact, so many people run campaigns just to see how it works, and we've lost money. So I'm just talking about promoted listing standard. Glenn Cameron says, it always comes down to the items you're selling. If you can get good high demand items, you're laughing. The trick is consistently finding these items that sell and grow and learn from there. Yes, that is 100%. And see, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of assuming that we're talking about items that have demand. Because if you go to a yard sale and find, oh, that looks cute, but nobody's searching for that item, it's going to remain cute in your house or in your garage or in your wherever you keep your items. So you got to buy right. None of this other stuff even matters, and that's a good reason. And I'll just put this out there: it's a good reason. Like someone like Todd doesn't promote, is still making decent sales because he's buying right to begin with. Let's see. I hate hearing someone nameless say this item has a 200% sell-through rate. But it happens because it's just the math isn't. They just don't know the math. You can't. Mathin'. You cannot discount the items. You cannot take away the items that sold. So let's say you have 300 items in your store. You've sold 600 in a 90-day period. Well, if you would have sold none of those, you'd have 900 items in your store right now. All right. So you had over that 90-day period 900 items. 600 of them just happened to sell, and many people are not counting that 900, they're counting 300 because that's what's currently up for sale, and the math is wrong. So
can I have that lotion?
You can.
Thank you.
Biff says, I can tell you that if you grow your store from 10K to 40K, your sales don't increase 4X for a few reasons. And I'd like to know those. I agree with you that it won't grow 4X because you grow your store 4X, but it'll grow. Provided you're not cheating, providing you're putting the same level of merchandise, you're still buying at the same level, then your sales will grow, but maybe not in scale with your store size. I just haven't experienced. I can't really speak to that 100% because I don't think my main store has ever been higher than 600 items. Crazy. No. Todd says 2025 sales year to date just equaled all my sales of 2024. 2024 is my best year ever. No promoted. Okay. Keep doing better. That's all that matters. However you get to that place and you're happy with it, what I'm saying you should just not even listen to. Craig says, just have to say I'm not along for the ride when it comes to greater than 100% sell-through rate. I think not many people should be on that ride. That's my whole point. Jane says, I'm late. I'm starting from the beginning. Yes.
Hello, Jane.
Just don't put me in chipmunk mode. I'd appreciate that. Biff says, people are overly optimistic about building a massive AI store, but their scaling predictions will not play out how they think. Well, I guess it's a little too soon to make that determination. I'm curious to see. I'm not in that boat, but if something was to ever happen with my current sourcing, I certainly know that it's an option. Craig says, that's great, Todd. I'm sure it wasn't easy. My question becomes, how do you know if it could have been even better? I've always been asking that question. That's the question I ask anyone who doesn't promote.
He asks Todd that all the time.
I can't get the answer, though. No one wants to answer that. The problem is you promote it and the people still come back with a low offer. But that's why the first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you do not have offers selected until now. I want to give my item a little bit more options to get the hell out of here, and you start becoming more aggressive with adding things like offers. I'm way behind a little bit.
Surprise, surprise!
Because I've had a lot to say. Virginia Carolina Picker says, I'm afraid the customer is so used to the 10% that eBay will get the 18% plus any extra, and they'll still wait on our offers. So it's going to hit both sides. You just got to have a process in place. You know, if you're just throwing everything at it, and there's nothing wrong with throwing everything at it if you've bought low enough to still make a good profit. There's so many people that say to me, John, I don't know how I could do what you're doing. Coupon, markdown sales, offers, 8 to 10% promotions. I can't make money that way. And my only thought is step one. You got to do step one right to be able to do all those things. And that's hard for
step one, everyone? What is step one? You make money on the buy. Step one.
Yeah, that's how you set the foundation of making money on that item, is how good you buy it for. And there's some of us that still go to yard sales and ask how much for this item. They say $5. You whip out the $5. You don't say, will you take 3? And if you do that 20 times in a day and 10 people say, I'll take 3, you just saved yourself $20. And do that over a course of a year, every weekend, and you're saving money. But not only are you saving money, you could put more towards more inventory. That item now is listed in your SKU as $3 instead of $5. And if you're selling it for $30, you have a little more room to give discounts than if you had it for $5. If that makes sense. Dre says, I would give the customer the discount versus a guaranteed discount to eBay on every sale. Even if that meant you're making $1 or $2 more per item. John took the wrong pill today. Devon says, always take offers. The buyer feels like they're getting a better price. No lowball offers. Hell no. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't take lowball offers. Unless you determine that item as a clearance item. It's been sitting in your store for years. And it's like, okay, this is not going to get me what I wanted for it. But I can still get my money back and maybe even make a little bit of profit after the fees. Then, it's time to go. Dre says, don't forget, every reseller clicking your listings for comps gives eBay the promoted fee, and every pawn shop in America clicking your listings for comps gives eBay the promoted fee. That is true on the 13th of January. It's not true yet. So that hasn't taken into effect yet, meaning that if a buyer on the 13th of January clicks on your listing, let's say it's a seller that's just trying to get sold comps. They click on your listing and have no intention on buying it. That opens your promoted listing up, even if it's clicked in organically by the actual buyer 20 days later. Todd says, what do you mean it's not a business answer saying I'm not going to give eBay more? It's not a business answer when you're willing to take less money for your business over principle. So your mindset is, I'm not giving eBay more, and I refuse to give them more, even if it costs me $2 on this sale. That's what I'm hearing, because I haven't heard any justification at all to promote at 5%. In that example, instead you're willing to take 10% less. No justification, no business justification. I'm hearing emotions. I'm hearing a lot of emotions in my business that I am not going to give eBay any more money. They've fleeced me enough. That's emotion, because I'm still making $2 more. I don't care if eBay's making more money. If I'm making more money, I'm actually benefiting from the system. Now, some of you might say, well, you're a jerk from benefiting from the system. How dare you prop up eBay and give them more money? But isn't that the whole idea? Why is eBay wrong for wanting to make more money? I mean, look, the tack that they're taking is wrong. I'll agree with that. But why are they wrong for trying to make more money as a business? But we're not wrong for trying to make more money as a business. So all businesses have to lose money in order to be, what's the right word? All businesses have to lose money to be respectable. I just don't buy that. I mean, See, in order to grow businesses, none of these businesses out here in the real world do anything but look at the bottom line. The bottom line for me, the number one metric is how much money is being deposited in my account at the end of the week. And I don't care how I mean, if I do things honestly, right? If I take an honest line and follow all the rules, play the game the way eBay puts it out there to play, because it's their rules, their sandbox. How much money can I make in that system, and what rules and what discounts and what things can I put into play to make that work? And it's up to each and every one of us to figure that out. And the answer is going to be different for every single person. Nose Addict says, I'd rather give the customer the discount as I'm building an omni-channel brand, builds goodwill and the Addict name for the customer. eBay also takes on the tax and shipping. So I can understand that. Okay, and again, that's an example that I gave at the beginning. That's a business decision. If you're willing, it's the same idea that Costco uses when they sell their $5.99 rotisserie chickens. They lose money on that, but it's a loss leader. So it's a business decision that they've made to bring more buyers in for the future. So you're building your brand, you're building your repeat buyer list, and then at some point they're going to come in and buy other things in your store. That is a business decision that I can be okay. If that's the reason why you're doing it, that makes sense. Paul says, you want an adult conversation? Damn, I'll get my coat. Have a great week.
No, we don't want
I feel
adults.
sorry for the golfing friends this week.
We've
They
had
better let
enough
him win.
adult
He's
talking.
heated. Look, I'm sorry for being fired up, but I think it's more interesting when your host has emotion in the discussion than just like, okay, guys, I think we should all promote at 5% because if we give our buyers a 10% discount, you're going to lose. No one's going to even follow that conversation. That you're going to click away. So
I'd click away for sure.
How come you haven't clicked away yet?
Man.
Jenna says Jenna would love the Australian KFC. The American KFC chickens are dipped in swimming pools. And Lisa Dury says, hey, Jenna, hoping you are doing great in your decorating. I missed your live last week, so I'm not sure if you finished. P.S. You always look cute, no wrinkles from my perspective.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. But I do. I do have some wrinkles, but I did finally finish my Christmas tree and most of the decorations. We still have lights to put up on the outside.
In it to flip it says, John, Jenna's beauty regimen has nothing to do with you, but it should.
Has nothing to do
should.
with you. Why?
Because why would you? I mean, okay. Now, maybe this is right. Women out there, tell me if this is right. Because I heard this recently and it made sense. But until I heard that, I always thought, why do women get like all fancied up and nice makeup and this and that other thing? But then I heard someone say, women, they don't put makeup on for men.
No.
They put it on for other women.
Well, I don't necessarily
And how,
care.
because women judge each other and they critique each other and they say, oh, that's cute or this, that. So you
Other women can be very, very judgmental and mean. But that's not why I do. I mean, maybe back in the day I did, but now that I'm older, I have an IDAF attitude. Okay? And that comes from my mother. And it can be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't give up.
You left the G out. You said IDAF.
Oh, IDGAF.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. But anyway, thank you guys.
Jonathan
Appreciate
Gilmore out there beating up people in the golf course. Charles Taylor says, I feel this time of year the special people buy on the internet. Yes.
Special. I'm special.
We have a good time. And we don't argue like this, by the way, all the time.
No, we're not arguing. This is it.
We banter.
Yeah.
Duncan says, so John, have you tried to promote an item at 125%? No, it won't let you because
No.
I've accidentally hit too high of a number because I'm fast typing. I'm like, oh crap, and it won't let you. Nancy Bingham, what's your take on AI pictures to say things are broken, damaged, stained, and then and then they're not to get refunds.
Is that something that's happening?
Oh yeah. Remember that when we were getting those people that are sending us the trash in the mail and stuff? People were putting like random pictures. But it doesn't have to be AI. I don't know why someone would go that far to take a AI picture of something that looks broken. Like, okay, this item's broken and show damage on it in an AI photo. They don't need to show anything that's relevant to the return. They could just add pictures to it, and you're now looking at having to give that buyer a refund. When it comes.
People are getting way too. I can't think of the word or the phrase, but greedy. And I don't know.
Spam says no shoes, no shirt.
We love you, Devon.
Spam says no shoes, no shirt, no dice. I got news for you, Spam. What is the percentage of buyers that are buying from you right now that have no shoes or no shirt? Right now. They're naked as a jaybird, clicking on their computer, and they're buying your items from you.
It depends on what they're packing. There could be someone out there that's buying... They need some new T-shirts, and they just...
what if they're not packing? Do they still...
Hey, they might be nice to look at. That's all.
What? That wasn't my question. My question is, how many people are naked as a jaybird surfing the internet buying your stuff right now?
Okay, well, I hope not many, but anyway.
Most men would do that.
No hair, what? No hair, no haircut.
Devon says, I mop our floor every day between the dogs and my husband is dirty again.
Oh my God. Between the tree in the backyard that it has these little teeny, it's a big, huge tree. But the leaves on the branches and the accumulate, they're so tiny, and they end up all over my kitchen floor every single day, and I end up having to vacuum every day. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, we have our dogs. They like to go out and they like to roll around on the cement, and those will get on their fur and they'll bring it inside.
Yes, it drives me bananas.
We got Basket Noodles with us.
Be-nudes!
Duncan's live couples argument: change your damn shoes when you come from outside into the house.
That's what I'm talking about.
It is. And it's like, there's nothing. These are perfectly good shoes. They're comfortable. Mr. Sadie says, I have about 12 pair of the Skechers slip-ons. They're Yes.
Then buy another pair, because those ones are not it, okay? Those ones are going to be in the trash. I am not joking. I have thrown things away before that you have not even realized. I'm like that blind guy again.
I'm like that, make her stop. Take my hearing away, please. Crimey River says, my daughter mismatches socks on purpose, drives me nuts with that. She even goes to work like that, LOL.
That drives me crazy. I can't handle it.
He is sleeping in the shed tonight, no dinner.
That's what I'm saying. Actually, he'll get dinner, but it's of my choice, and I want to go out and sit down at a restaurant.
When, tonight?
Yes. So, whatever you thought you were having plans to go in the garage.
Let me explain what happened Monday night, guys. Friday night. Let me tell you guys what you guys did. You guys did. So, we ended up ordering this pizza with pineapple and pepperoni on it, right? And I put a little note in for the restaurant on the Uber app, Uber Eats, to please put it only on half. Not only did they put it on the whole pizza, they put it under the cheese. They put it there, and it really tasted like they dumped the pineapple juice on the pizza.
No, they didn't.
It was sweet as all hell, and I picked that stuff off, but apparently I didn't think to lift the cheese to pick off the stuff that's under the cheese. So I'm like, yeah, here, you can have the rest of the pizza for the rest of the weekend, and that's yours, because I ain't having any more.
Well, if we go sit down at a restaurant, you can order what you want. How about that?
How about I order you what I want?
No.
Basket of selective hearing. Yep, lots of guys do that. It's selective Alzheimer's too.
Oh, no. No, that I can't handle.
Let's see. Just B says, just to be, your poll question is flawed. It's not an either or scenario, but both. And using your model to make a sale, you need to run a sale plus coupon to promote. How do you know what factor made the sale? So I do all of it. But my question is simply, I'm not saying you can't do all of it. What I'm saying is, if you had an option A and option B, and that was the options we're dealing with, and it's just to see, the reason for the question is to see if you're more interested in the profit versus the principal. The people that answered that they would give the buyer the 10%, knowing they'd lose a couple bucks on the sale, versus the 5% and let it sell high up in the rankings with higher velocity without an offer, are saying that they're running their business based on principle, and that versus over the profit. So, and hey, more power to you. I not everyone's going to have the same answer. I'm very surprised by the answer. Now, curious though, we have a poll. Do you guys want a Black Friday stream? And looks like 54%.
There's a lot of people that said that they're not going to be around, they're going to be gone, they're going to be busy. So what my idea, because I did want to take you somewhere on Friday.
So Sizzler,
yeah. No. So maybe we.
Okay, so 54% says no.
Yeah, so I say, and a lot of people are saying you do a lot, so you should really just take the day off.
No polls are coming about floors. Baskin says selective cognitive dissonance is another fave of mine, and I take no meds. John Elashette says, "Hey John and Jenna, hope you have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I bought a Honda Goldwing at an auction recently for $100. Ooh. Just sold the carb off it for $240. That is outstanding.
Wow.
I love that."
Those are the kind of numbers we like.
Paul says, "That's genuine on the fake AI package damage, John. Saw it on Facebook. It made it look like a package was on fire damaged."
Are you serious?
Gotta
Wow,
love AI
that's
photos.
crazy. You already looked that
I
up.
did. That was that long ago?
Yeah.
What?
Mister, it's 5:02.
Oh, you do birthday live for John on Friday? Thanks for the super chat there, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I think we're going to not do one on Friday because I have to, if I want to do anything for this man, I have to force him to not do other things.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Look how far.
I'm telling you, because your mouth doesn't know how to shut up.
I think you guys got a lot out of this episode. Baskin says, because both have their own shipping arm, Amazon can pivot via FBA requiring sellers to consign them. We got Josh is here. I didn't see that.
Well, no, you didn't, because that was over an hour ago.
He's probably waking
gone.
up for tomorrow morning already. CPR says, by offering 10% off, buyers that search by lowest price will find my items better. Those shoppers are usually serious buyers and good eBayers. But in the example that I gave, your item is at $100. It's $100 just like mine is $100. We have the same price. The only difference is you're taking an offer. That's exclusive to the actual search results. Lisa says, take a break. You both do so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Jody says, take Friday off and have a happy birthday, John.
That's what I'm saying.
Flipping for the trailers. Hi, John and Jenna. It was a good weekend and a good Monday. Dib Dit show tonight at 10.
Oh, nice. 10 your Eastern or Pacific? What time is it? 5, 6?
Baskin says, to me, a leak is when I drip on the toilet seat.
That's why I was like, I don't really think that word is conducive to
Donna Francisco says, this time the stimulus is based off of income from tariffs, not from the backs of our kids. Oh, that $2,000 deal?
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how that is, because
We're supposed to get it next year.
If we get it next year, it's going to be based on a 2024 tax return, and I think the cutoff is $100,000. I ain't getting it. We ain't getting it. Sorry. Really? Unless it's tapered down.
Well, that's some bullshit.
Based on how they at least have it said.
I just would like somebody to send me some money so I can go shopping.
Life is short. This is Mike G. Says, exactly, Jenna. The algorithm is exhausting. I'm pivoting to do enough. Social media algorithms will take years off your life if you allow it.
Oh my God, yes.
You can.
Yes, and but like with social media, you can kind of change your algorithm by actually going into your search bar and searching for specific either creators or people, family that you actually want to see.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the whole stimulus thing and how that's going to shake out. The Monster Loon says, "Hi, Flippin' Fam. Nice to see you, Monster Loon."
Honey.
What? Oh, Mike. Mike. Happy birthday, John. Since we won't see you on your birthday. Well, thank you. Appreciate you guys and your super chats. I appreciate it. I mean, just the friendship is, heck, a happy birthday in the chat.
By
is
the
enough.
way, Mike, you're going to
Thank
be
you.
getting something in the mail.
Why did you have to say that?
Because I want him to.
No, why did you have to say that? That totally ruined it for me.
I didn't say what it was.
Doesn't matter. Gail says,
didn't know it
"Hey,
was
FA
a
fam."
secret.
I told you it was. Hey,
No,
FA
you
family
didn't.
made it. Hope all had a good weekend.
Yes.
Let's see. Landshark says, if an item is promoted highly and still doesn't sell, you have one or more of a problem. There is no demand for the item. Your title and pictures are not good. Your price is not in line with the current. I saw another 40-yard dash photo in a listing that I was checking out, and I'm like, how could you launch your listing like this? Craig Wine says, I haven't seen anyone prove that a promoted actually gets the sales compared to not promoted, and it would be easy to verify if you sell multiple items. Yes, I can show you a way I can 100% prove that promoted does work. I'm not willing to pay the price to do that. I could say next year I'm not promoting it all in my main store, and I will literally be out at the strip with a cup begging for money because I will not be making enough money. Mike says no eBay would jack final value fees up. 5% of sellers don't promote. eBay knows they'll make more money off the backs of sellers. Keep jacking those promotions up. They're going to make their money. So if that means that, okay, you don't want to promote with promoted listings, it's not going to be 13.25%. It's going to be 18.25 just to start. There you go.
Honey, we have to do a giveaway. You need to wrap
We
it
do,
up.
but I just want to get everyone that has not been
A lot of people
acknowledged.
are having to go to bed now.
Okay.
It's time.
Is it that late?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Here's the deal, guys. Go ahead in the chat, 1 to 300. Put a number between 1 and 300. We're going to give away a Tree Cat hat and shirt. And if you're a lucky winner, the closest one wins. We'll have Tree Cat ship it out to you. We'll just need you to email me with your size of your shirt. So please get your numbers in. I'll read a few more comments, and then we'll do the little Tree Cat promo, and we'll pull the number. I apologize if I didn't get to your comment tonight because I had a lot to say, and I usually, like Reef the Sea Forever is with us, got their hat and shirt. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Nancy Bigham, I'm not sure a higher promotion matters. My promo is at 5%, seems to work as well. There's an optimal rate, and it's not 15. It's not the suggested rate that eBay wants you to pay. You just got to find it. SCG Collectibles had one sale in the last 32 days on eBay. Thank God. I cross-list selling like mad for me on Whatnot, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. They're picking up the slack. I think it's awesome to cross-list if you need to build a little bit, even if it's 10 to 15% more sales. See if I can. I'm not trying to skip comments. Reef the Sea Forever. As a seller since 97, I have to say that things are not the same. You just have to adapt with AI. And I think a lot of people are going to find out that, oh, I wish I would have. Chaos for Hire is with us. I saw a listing recently that had 2 words and the rest were fire and lightning icons.
Wow.
That is not how you want to do it. But we got a lot of numbers. We're going to run the Tree Cat promo. We'll come back and pull the number. Here we go, guys. You hear us talk about Tree Cat a lot on this channel. And yes, it's a cross-listing tool. They support eBay, Mercari, Poshmark. They just added Whatnot. So many features, like how about the ability to end your items if it sells on another platform? How about scheduled relist? So, even eBay doesn't offer that, where you can schedule an item to relist every so many days, weeks, or whatever it is. How about the ability to have a library of your listings, where eBay only keeps your listing 90 days. Tree Cat will keep your listings and your photos indefinitely. So they're adding new features all the time. And the cool thing right now, guys, is between now and the end of October, if you use my code FAE, you will get 2 months for free. That's right, 2 months for free. The cool thing is, if you decide to stay with Tree Cat, which I think you will, You only pay as you sell. So if you don't make many sales, you're not going to pay much. There's no monthly fees. There's no sign-up fees or anything like that. But use my code FAE to get 2 months for free. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Darn it. Real quick, before we pull the number, I want to say Alan Thompson, thanks for being here. And
Jovial's here.
Jovial's, I said hi to Jovial, but
I wasn't here.
she was. Or you might have been stepped away. And this comment I got to address. Todd says, one day John will kick my ass in a cage fight. We have been toe-to-toe over this for a while. Last thing, John makes money and I make money. And I don't care enough. I don't care enough to have you not like me over that comment. I'm not saying you don't, but anybody who thinks that I am trying to push promoted listings, it's not. Nah, I mean, I want you to make money. I want you to do well. If you're happy with what you make, then keep going on the journey that you're on. It's just you know what you know, and you know what you don't know what you don't know. I know what I know, that what works for many categories, and I just like to see better for people. And I guess this is kind of towing into the whole donkey bar conversation, because that's kind of what he was doing. But I don't want to put you down. I'm not trying to put you down or make you feel bad, because you're doing a great job. You're doing very, very well with what you do without promoting. And my hat is off to you, sir. You did great.
All right,
So
the number.
okay, so and of course you know me, right? Because I'm too busy yapping, that I have to tell it to generate a number real quick. So
Because he was too busy doing something else while you guys were watching a commercial.
put the result in big bold letter, big and bold. Okay, here it goes. You guys ready? We're gonna put it over to the other screen here, and this is the comment browser. Generate a number between 1 and 100.
All right, Dana, I hope you got your
237.
237.
It's not a bad bowling score. I'll take that. 237 is the winner.
Oh, Derek W. Pat.
There you go.
236. Yep.
Virginia Carolina says, my son just handed me his Amazon boxes, said, here, Ma, I know this saves you a few bucks. Yeah, he's getting it. So I want to thank you guys for being here. We got Derek W. Pat.
Yeah.
Derek, send me an email at flippinainteasy2020.
That was easy.
Ain't easy 2020 at gmail.com. Is it me, or does it seem like the AI likes to pick like right in the mid 200s? I can see like everyone being like in the middle 200s
Well,
next time.
maybe we switch it up.
I think we're gonna use
1
Gemini.
to 500.
I think we're gonna use Gemini to generate the number next time. But here's my email address in the chat. Congrats, Derek. Thank you guys for being the best part of this program, and thank you for putting up with our bickering. But it's just the way we roll. We don't put on a show for anyone.
I have to come in with all armor on, because this man is either on one or he's not. And I have to come ready for battle.
All right, guys. So I want you to have a great Thanksgiving. Spend time with family and friends. Take time away if you can.
Oh,
and
Dana.
And we will see you guys on, I guess we're going to do no show on Friday, as per the poll that we put out.
And the boss. I'm the boss.
And we will see you guys in 1 week from now. And I don't know if I'm going to put out any videos, but if I have time, I will. Take care, everybody.
We love you.
Chargebacks, returns, and low ball offers to Vero takedowns. They're a pain. What can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that is within your control. Hang with Flippin' Ain't Easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast, Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast, Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. Yeah, flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast, Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. All resellers, I'm gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that is within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Yeah. Let's roll. And if flipping ain't easy, let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast, Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game.